Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Incompetent Nerds. I'm your host, Tank, along with my good friend.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
This time we didn't speak over each other. Had to do a pause.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're doing things different, as you may have guessed for the past few weeks. With the whole changes coming to Incompetent Nerds, we'll still talk about geeky, nerdy stuff, but again, it's the month of February. Not just that we have, Black History Month, but also the month of love. So let's get into it, Mark.
Love is in the air. Yeah. I really like Valentine's Day in February and expressing love because, it's one of those holidays that's like people are so cynical about it. They're like, oh, like it's a Hallmark holiday kind of thing. But I don't know. I really enjoy taking like that one time out of the year to like show people that you care about them,
Yeah. No, I hear you. I sometimes feel the same way. Let's just say I was one of those folks back in the day where Valentine's Day was just like, ugh, again. Because I was so single for so long.
Right.
But let's
But
get
I've
into
always felt the opposite.
yeah.
Oh, sorry for the yawn. But yeah, so basically what Tank and I wanted to touch on today that was sort of a big deal in most people's lives is the 5 love languages and sort of what they mean and sort of how they affect how you interact with people that you love and how other people love you back. So yeah, let's just we'll get right into them.
All right, so the 5 love languages, and ladies and gentlemen, if you never heard of the 5 love languages, these are just a 5 type of what you call it, affections.
You give love in 5 ways you get love, right? Back from other people. And you can take like a test online, see like which one you're more dominant in.
But sometimes I feel like those are just BS and just But it's more like how you feel.
Right. And
go ahead.
But yeah, so if you're listening to one and you think like, oh, I do that a lot, or like, oh, I don't do that as much as I should, maybe it's not that you should be hard on yourself. Maybe that's just not one of your ways you express love.
Yeah. So let's get into the 5 topics. The 5 categories. The first one is receiving gifts. It's just those who feel like it doesn't have to be expensive gifts. It's just the fact that they believe the thought counts of receiving a gift, be it a piece of candy, a flower, or maybe
a note on the mirror, right?
A note on the refrigerator before you leave to work. You leave your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whoever, your partner. Leave them a note saying, "I love you. Hope you have a great day." Mwah. For them, if that's like their love language of them receiving gifts and that's part of their gifts, to them that means a lot. And it could be from, consumers to like these small things that you can make with your own hands. Second one, quality time. I feel like a lot of us fit in that portion, especially if you don't live with, especially if you don't live with your partner,
your significant other. Yeah, we're both in that situation, so we definitely have to make the most of the minutes and the hours we do spend with each other.
Exactly.
But this also could be relevant, like if you don't live in the same city as your family, you have to make do with the time that you get with them because you don't always get it as often as other people do.
Exactly. Next one is words of affection. It's basically encouraging those. It's just words of encouragement, you could say. You feel more loved when they say, "I love you," or "You're great," "You're awesome." Just encouraging words, positive words, make you feel loved by others. And sometimes it goes back to them. If this is their love language, they communicate through this. Like this is what, this is where you'll feel love. And this doesn't go with just your partners. It also goes again with friends, family, and whoever.
Yeah, and the big thing about words, I think, is that like when people aren't good at words, they're usually really, really good at other love languages. So it can be hard if you like hearing those words to see like, oh, does this person love me? Because maybe they do, but they're just not saying it.
Exactly. Acts of devotion. I mean, well, acts of service or slash devotion, which is basically you like it when your partner, helps you clean up the house or helps you do chores, errands, or just shows like them acting in such a way, cooking, things like that. Services that they provide for you is like another language. And this doesn't go to like what you call like, I'm thinking like services like somebody doing taxes or whatever. What is tax season? So,
Right.
but it's just like, this communicates to others as well. Like, oh, he always does the dishes for me and he helps me cook and clean up the house. Like, I love him for that, things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And last but not least,
Mhm.
which I feel
Physical touch.
exactly, and I feel that's like most men's love language. They love to be touched on.
Yes, I think that comes from men always being like grabbed and squeezed and hugged and whatnot by their mothers.
Yeah,
As as either like a firstborn or like the oldest or whatever it is. Especially with that male female relationship in the beginning, really like highlights that guys really enjoy that. And then when I did it, that was my top one. So physical touch is always and still is important to me for those reasons. And it's just any way you express love by, literally touching another person. Hug, kiss, skin to skin contact, anything you can think of.
yeah. Well, with this said, all the five languages we just told us a physical touch. What would you rank them personally for you? As what's your number 1 to number 5 as your lowest? We already know number 1.
So
is
when I did it, I got physical touch was number 1, quality time was number 2, and those were like really really close.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I don't remember if acts of service or words was third or fourth, but they were third or fourth, and then gifts at the bottom. And I think, yeah, just because I've always had everything I needed, so it's not a big deal for someone to give me something. My family always forego the gifts and just gave cash, so that's that's something that's like very practical and pragmatic. So I never really thought of gifts in that way.
Yeah.
And then, but as I'm older, I'm trying to notice myself get better at well, like you can always be mindful of words. Like, if you want to be better, you can just say, oh, I'm going to say one nice thing today or two nice things today. But with acts of service, I'm trying to notice myself get better at like doing things for other people and then just like not expecting anything back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like doing it to do it. That's like a big thing I think I had a problem with when I was young, is that like I would do something and I would want reinforcement for it, but then if I didn't get it, I would be like, okay, I'm not going to do that again, but
yeah, you feel bummed out.
I think that as I get older, it's like it's creeping up there. But obviously nothing beats quality time and touch.
Yeah. For me, I never took the test. It was more like what I always felt personally, and how I still feel to this, and it's still like this is what I feel to this day. For me, physical touch is not really up there, to tell you the truth. It's actually words of affection. That's my number 1.
Okay.
Feeling encouraged, and this is growing up, I was always the quiet kid. Quiet, didn't have really many friends or knew many people, just never like connected with them. But every time I would like hang out with certain people or family, and I would always hear like when I would always hear those words like, bro, you cool, or you're awesome, you're the best, you're the greatest. It like filled me with love, and I didn't know how that felt, because then just like hearing those words. For me, words are so powerful. You could, like I really disagree with this saying like sticks and stones might break my bones, but words can't harm me. Well, I feel that's the opposite.
Right.
Because you could heal from sticks and stones no matter what, but somebody says that one little word, they could give you a mental breakdown.
It definitely can affect people for good and bad ways equally. And I think that, when people say them to you, you also have to take it in that moment and saying like, that's them expressing love to me, and like I need to appreciate it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was just like words are so powerful. It's like you could really turn somebody's day. You could really brighten somebody's day by saying the right words to them, or just make their day a living hell by just saying certain words. And with the time of social media and everything, it's just like words are powerful. And
Yeah,
I'm at the point where I agree. The pen is mightier than the sword.
yeah, totally. I appreciate you being my co-host.
Don't make me cry, Mark.
Um, all
Ne-
right, well, keep going.
all right. Next for me is access services.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I'm very organized, cleanly person. I like to keep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I always keep a lot of my stuff organized, cleaned, dusted, things. You've been to my house before. You've seen how my room was. You've seen how my home was.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the way I am. And for me, it's not a biggie if, when me and my girlfriend planning on moving in with each other, it's no biggie that, I'm cleaning up, making sure everything's organized, prepared, because that's just who I am. But access service is a really another one. Like
Mm-hmm.
her helping me out, clean up, cook, prepare, organize, things like that, run errands, do chores. Like, that's another sign of love for me. Like, you're speaking one of my languages as
Yeah,
well. Third is
yeah,
quality
because it's
time.
not. It's like helping you with something that's important to you. You like your life a certain way, so it's like if someone helps out with that, it's like
Yeah,
they're helping you be you. You know?
yeah. And it's not like I'm being difficult or I want my life. It's not like a certain way. It's more like
Right.
I
Right.
feel
Right.
like you run a smoother operation when everything is organized and you could clearly reach for something instead of digging through something.
Yeah, for sure.
My third one is actually quality time.
Uh huh.
That one, like, time is important, not just for oneself, but having time with others. But
Uh huh.
for me, it was like never up there. But I feel like quality time is going up because of the times I do see my girl, which is usually on weekends, and then there's sometimes where we can't see her weekends because we can see each other on weekends because of there's certain events or things like that that's going through.
Right.
So we try to always make the best of the quality time that we have, especially if it's like, I don't work this Monday or I don't work Friday. We don't work, whatever days. We're going to spend another day with each other. Yay. And, that's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I know,
Yeah. It's hard too, because like when you, I don't know, the only rationalization is that like when you're not around somebody you want to be around, it's like that only makes you want them more. You know?
yeah, it is. It's just like, oh, fuck. I missed them. But you saw them yesterday. Because now you got to deal with a whole week of not seeing them because of scheduling conflicts or how far you guys with each other, or the fact that one has a car or the other or both doesn't have a car. It's difficult. And then when you do spend that quality time, for example, when you and your girl, when you do spend that quality time, you try to make the best of it. And then if there is a holiday, like a day off, whatever, it's like, hey, like, I'm spending another night in your house, or you spend another night at my place,
Right.
because you want to keep that extra time.
Right.
And that's how I feel. And I really feel like quality time is going up there. For me personally, is reaching up there. But once me and my girlfriend do move in, it's probably gonna drop back down, staying in third place where it's at now.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, even when we see each other, it's like we're on very limited time schedules, so like we have to make the most of every hour.
oh yeah, and even when we do, or hell, even when we play games, because of our schedules and plans and nights and everything,
Right.
it's like it was difficult. Like, this right here was literally having you as the new co-host of Incompetent Nerds. For me, it was like it was a blessing that I got a new co-host, but also it was like, wow, Mark is now making his time, and where before it was difficult for him,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's just making his time, making sure he does this every week, and we keep moving forward.
Right.
Fourth for me is physical touch. Never really was a touchy person.
Uh-huh.
Really, actually, really didn't like it. Didn't really
Interesting.
doesn't bug me, friends, families, come in, give me a hug. But it's more like, if it's not necessary, don't fucking touch me.
But do you seek out like a handshake when you meet someone, or like a hug with like random people or like new people, or do you just like try to avoid that in those situations?
Sometimes I try to avoid it, the
Okay.
handshakes or the hugs, um, especially when I'm meeting new people. Like, don't get me wrong, I will be respectful. If you reach your hand, I'll reach out and respond. But if you don't do it, I'm not making the initiative.
Right.
So that's just like physical touch is not up there. But it doesn't bug me where my girlfriend, she when we cuddle, it doesn't bug me with that physical touch. Um, it doesn't annoy me, especially that love that we have for each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. Where random folks, like, don't keep your hands off me. I don't care.
Got it.
I don't care if you're a 10 on the motherfucking scale. Don't touch me.
Right.
Leave me
Right.
be. And that goes for the same chick who's the number one. I don't care. We're the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, receiving gifts. That's literally not materialistic. Usually, if I want something, I get it myself. I don't go ahead and ask others for whatever gifts, nor do I
Right.
request gifts, nor do I feel like you love me more because you gave me, a note, a piece of candy. Those are nice things, but it's not something I care for.
Right. And I've always felt that like I would rather, I don't know, I just, the more stuff I accumulate, the more I hate stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, give me an experience, give me something that like I'll remember, because, that's more meaningful than like all the crap I'm ever gonna collect, you know?
Yeah. It's like, for example, when it comes to me, like, my favorite candy bar is crap. Since I've been dieting, I haven't been eating candy. It's Kit
Hmm.
Kats. I love Kit Kats. Uh oh. Did we lose you?
Hold on. I have to, keep talking, keep talking.
Okay, keep talking.
I'm listening.
But yeah, it doesn't bug me. Like, if my girlfriend were to go to the store and get whatever things that she need to get, and then brings me a Kit Kat. It's a nice gesture, but like,
Right.
it never really bothered me. Like, I just don't care for receiving gifts. Um, well, the love language is out the way, and the rank we did. Ladies and gentlemen, for you guys, I'll provide a link below in the description if you guys wanted to go ahead and take a test on your love languages, or hearing our opinions and our comments on our own personal languages that we feel like. Because for most folks, everybody has all five, but usually one or two mostly stick out the most for them. If you have any, if you would like to leave comments below on your languages, that would definitely be helpful, and we'll be grateful for that. So, be it on YouTube, iTunes, whatever you're listening to us through, leave comments below. Let us know. Sorry about that. Next transition. Since we are in the season of love and love is in the air, and most likely you got your slow jams playing, or whatever type of music
Yeah.
you got with your partner
Cuddled up if
going.
it's cold.
Oh yeah, especially when it's 7 degrees in California, and it's you need to have a winter jacket on. You
Yep.
need to cover up to stay warm in 7 degree weather. I'm just throwing jabs at Mark.
I'm taking all of them because that's exactly what I'm doing.
Rolling with the punches.
It's
But
not like I don't even want to. I'm not even trying to steer into this kid because all that's true.
but yes. So next topic, love. What is our own personal definition or opinions on love. Now, for some folks, love is a big word. For other folks, sometimes it doesn't even mean anything to them. It's kind of sad, but
Sure.
we've been in those situations where we chatted with a friend, went through a bad heartbreak. They always said like they always told them they loved me, but in reality, it was just for them. It was just a word. Didn't have no meaning behind it. Something powerful.
Yeah. I guess when I think about it, it's more of people who showed up for me,
Mm-hmm.
in times that I needed them. People who I just felt comfortable around, who I can talk to, who I can tell anything about, who I can cry in front of. Sort of the times where it's like society shows you all these ways you have to be strong and not vulnerable, and like we're supposed to take this very specific path, right? But I think the people you love are there when you're not on that path, or where you fall off, or where you need help, and that's what I always come back to
Yeah.
when I think of that.
Love for me is like an unconditional emotion that you have for one another.
Right.
I feel like throughout relationships, love for your family, love for your family is usually, is different. There's unconditional love there. But
Mm-hmm.
then, you have friends who you guys grown so close, you feel like the love there has become unconditional. That is not no
Right.
longer a friendship. This is more like, I see you as family. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have your potential partners where you've been with each other for so long. The relationship has always been great from beginning all the way, and you're hoping all the way to the end that you start seeing that, holy crap, I'm actually in love with this person. Like, is this that person? I always feel like,
Right.
for me, love always evolves to that. It goes from like to
Yeah. Sure.
love. I feel like there's
Sure.
always that,
Sure.
that evolution from like to love.
Of course. Yeah. It's that transition of like wanting to be around somebody to wanting to be with somebody because they make you better.
Yeah, they're like your better half.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like, yeah, my opinion on that. It just feels like it's a powerful word. You could literally make or break somebody's day with that word as well.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Or so much of what we say we don't say, right, with the other languages. So it's like, is is that word important enough to someone to let it affect them, or is it just something we don't even think about because we're too busy expressing love in other ways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's possibly that. It's like, you might not tell your girlfriend I love you all the time, but the fact that, she loves freaking Reese's Pieces, and you come by, you give her Reese's Pieces, and she automatically looks at you with that face and is like, you fucking love me.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Like this, what the love languages. It was like a perfect segment to like move love, love languages and move over to love. It's like sometimes you may not say it all the time, but it's your actions here. The love languages you speak here says it for you.
Exactly.
Literally says it for you. So I'm not saying you speak these languages, you don't have to say I love you ever again. No, it's just like these things always, will communicate, and that your partner will always feel like, damn, just they really love me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I always feel like it's more of like you have to find the balance too, because if your partner's different than you in the ways you give and express love, then it's like you gotta find the compromise,
Yeah,
like maybe you let them touch you, and then they'll start saying more words, or sort of vice versa kind of thing.
yeah, exactly.
Cool,
Next,
cool. I like that. So we're just moving right along
yeah,
to since Valentine's Day is in a couple days.
yeah.
We just thought we'd talk and hit real quick on any hacks, ideas, thoughts on V Day in general. Any stories you want to share, or uh,
Well,
just your overall thoughts on the day. What do you normally do?
well for the hacks, I have nothing. but I do have a good story with my girlfriend. Last year on
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day, I rented out a hotel, and before I rented out the hotel, our hotel room, which was downtown Chicago, decent floor, nice hotel on the river. She loved the view and everything, but um, I was asking her particular questions, like,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever had like rose petals on the bed or on the floor with candles, bottles of wine, like her past experiences.
Right.
I was hurt when she said no. I'm like, so your previous exes never got romantic. She said no. I'm like, that is the saddest shit. But I
Yeah,
already
that
had this
is.
planned. I already knew what I was
Right.
gonna do. But when I wanted to hear to see, because I wanted to surprise her.
Right.
So that day when it was last year, Valentine's Day was on a Friday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I get the hotel room. Towards the end of my day, I asked my manager if I could leave early, and I gave them the reason why. And they're like, you know what? Sure. Like, who am I to go against love? I was like, thanks. So I
Oh,
booked it
that's
out of
cute.
work early. Gave me a half hour. I told them if I could leave just half hour early. Perfect. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Dipped out.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to meet me at my job around. I told her please meet me at my job like around 5 o'clock, 5:15. So I'm out by 4:30. Rush into the hotel. Check in. Get the stuff. Put the wine. Get the ice. Got the rose petals going. It got a teddy bear with a golden rose with some chocolates on the bed. Got rose petals on the bed. Got the floor going. Like I'm going nuts. I'm literally my mind's
Man, you're going 0 to 100 real quick.
because I knew my time was limited. Because
Mm-hmm.
any moment now, I was gonna get a text or a call saying I'm here.
Right.
So as I'm getting through everything, I get the damn text. I was like, damn it, she's waiting for me at my job. So as I finish up, I rush back, but like an idiot, I forgot my book bag. Which I,
Oh.
so now she knows. She'll know like, wait a minute, he doesn't have his book bag. What the hell? So
Right.
I'm already coming up with a story as I'm rushing to head back work, and we have another entrance at my job to walk in. So I take that
Sure.
pathway so that way I can miss her completely. Go back upstairs
Uh-huh.
and then faucet and then go back to leave. So I go
Okay.
see her. She looks at me weird because I don't have my book bag. Say hi to her, whatever. I'm like, okay, let's go to the hotel room. So right before she asked me the question, I already answered it. I'm like, if you're wondering why I'm missing my book bag, I called the hotel during my lunch and I asked them if my room was ready, if I could check in early. They checked. They said, yeah, you could come out in, get the key card. You could check in early. I was like, thank you. So I rushed there, dropped in my book bag, and, checked in. She's like, oh, okay, cool.
Shady.
Oh, man, dude, I just straight up bullshitted. Finally get there.
Sure.
I give her, once we get to the room, I give her the key card. I'm like, here, go ahead and swipe in. Because she was in front of me, which I planned too. I wanted her to be in front.
Mm-hmm.
She checks in the room, and as soon as she opens the door, the wind, I guess, from opening the door from the hallway to the room, the fucking rose petals start flying. And her
That's hilarious.
face, she went from normal pigment to red.
Oh, that's cute.
And then she's walking in the room. She has her hand on her face. She's walking in the room. Now she's giggling the whole time. She's a giggler. She walks in the
Mm-hmm.
room. She sees the bed with the petals and the bear and everything. Now I can see her. Now her eyes are getting watery. And I'm there just cheesy, all happy. She gives me a big old hug and a big old kiss, and she goes, "Oh my God, you are such a romantic."
Yep,
And yeah,
for sure.
that was a good weekend. And her birthday is not that far, so I planned them both, where
Back to back.
back to back. So Valentine's Day went to Grand Lux Cafe, had a good dinner and dessert, and then the next day, which was, it was following for her birthday. We went to the movie theaters, saw freaking what's that stupid movie? The third movie of 50 Shades Grey. I think it was 50 Shades Freed.
Yep, you got it.
Oh my God, I wanted to fall asleep. And yeah, we checked. It was Friday. Checked out Sunday.
Nice,
Like
nice.
I had everything planned out. The event, everything.
Yeah, it's all that brings me. It's a great transition. That brings me to like some of my hacks. It's like it's always good to have a plan, because Valentine's Day gets so crazy when you go out with like bars and restaurants and all that stuff. So always have a plan. Um, I don't like going out personally. I would rather stay in and do something together, or
Yeah.
just spend that time with each other, or do something active that's no one would be doing. Like I remember one year I went paintballing because why not, right?
On
And it was
Valentine's Day?
yeah, no one's there. They had really good deals because obviously like paintball is a mostly guy sport, so they're trying to lure customers in. So that's one thing I did. Um, yeah, I've done everything from cooking homemade tacos to a 5-6 course meal
Oh.
and at a restaurant. So it's all just how you want to spend your time together. But
Hey,
definitely always have a plan.
don't make me try to go after your heart now.
LOL.
Over here making 6 course meal and tacos and stuff. I'm about to head over there and just muff your girl
But
to
see,
the
the
side.
tacos they're better because it's like I made them from scratch. Like I got the tortillas, got the tortilla little press going thing. So
Yeah.
it was a good time, man. But yeah, always have a plan. If you're gonna, my recommendation is if you're gonna go out, try to get a meal or something that's all inclusive. So like wine, dessert, dinner,
Yeah.
all there. Not like because what happens is like people are like, oh, let's go to dinner, and then they're like, oh, let's go to dessert, and then it's like, oh, well, let's go get a drink or whatever, and you're gonna have just people on people on people in all those places. And then by the time the night's over, you're like over dealing with all the people, and you just
Yeah.
like didn't get to spend any time with each other.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, if you can take care of that, that's a good idea. Always have gas in the car in case you need to take a drive. Uh,
Always have a backup plan. Like
always have a backup plan for sure.
if you're the one planning for the event, I know Valentine's Day is difficult on mostly
Gentlemen,
mostly gentlemen. It's difficult on them to like plan this stuff out, but always have a plan. If you're going out, see if they have reservations, and then always have a backup plan.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing um, better sometimes than catching someone off guard because if you're caught off guard, then she's definitely caught off guard, right? So it's
Yeah.
like if you get there and it's like, oh shit, we're booked. If you had a blanket and a bottle of wine in the back seat of the car, you just drive a few minutes outside of town and boom, you just turned the whole night around, right?
Oh yeah.
So always just have something up your sleeve
And if your partner
like
loves
that.
surprises, just BS them and tell them like, "Hey, can't really do nothing this weekend for Valentine's Day. I was just thinking we chill at home, in bed." And then you just come out of nowhere and surprise them, like, "Surprise!
Yeah,
We're
showing up
going
at
out to
work
a
is
movie."
great because that takes people off guard. Their
Oh yeah.
work, their house too, when it was more appropriate. I feel like as you get older, it's like less appropriate to tell someone you're going to show up at their house.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would want notice.
Yeah. I did that recently to my girlfriend, but then again, with modern technology, you can't really sneak up on anybody anymore.
Sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
her birthday passed. I stopped by a local flower shop and bought her some flowers, vase and all, beautiful flowers. Get to her place, but I'm texting her brother to
Mm-hmm.
see if he's home and if he could let me in. I'm trying to be quiet about it. I didn't want her to think I was anywhere near. I wanted to surprise her.
Right.
But I had a part of me felt like she's tracking me because we share our locations using our Find Friend on Apple.
Sure.
So I know she's tracking my. I'm like, I have a feeling she's tracking my location. Because at BS they're saying, "Oh, I just left. I just left the house. I'm heading towards you now." Where in reality, I was in her neighborhood, but I was at the flower shop.
Right. She was tracking your every move.
So most likely, when her brother let me in, it was real quiet. We're telling people, we're telling her uncle that was there, and her daughter like, "Shh, be quiet, be quiet." So I sneak in the room and I pop through. I'm like, happy birthday. And she saw the flowers. She got all giggy. She's giggling. I'm like, you knew I was nearby, didn't you? She goes, yeah, I was tracking you. I was, damn it.
Man, what a jerk. In her own way, obviously.
I'll tell her to listen to this, but I'm like, babe, look up on time 34. Mark just called you a jerk.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. Alrighty. Anything else on your plate?
That's good, man. I like this one. It was we short and sweet. We I think we hit some home runs in here.
Oh yeah, I agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this episode. You want to catch us next time? You know what to do. Subscribe. Freaking
like, subscribe,
leave
rate,
comments, rate us.
leave comments, send us emails, ideas, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, feedback.
And you can reach us at any of the links below. You know where
Cool.
to go. You guys have a good night. And
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Peace.